Hello, what is up, everybody? I'm down here in my basement, about to start the third day of my knees over the toes guy adventure to see how that fixes my knees. But I really wanted to touch on my running this past week, or the weekend rather, and how I track runs, or how I don't track runs. So this past week, was actually pretty nice. I got a nice long run in on Saturday, checking out my new pullover, which I'll be releasing a video here in a few days on my thoughts on that particular piece of clothing for running. And then the next day, Sunday, I went out and did a nice recovery run. I think it was about 2.5 miles, but I saved everybody the vicarious embarrassment of watching me run that. It just turned out to be really rainy to start off with, like torrential downpour, and then it got like nothing. Like as soon as I started running, hit the play button on the Garmin, and like someone turned off a faucet, it stopped. And then it was just a misty, drizzly, boring, really, really slow recovery run. But what I really wanted to talk about was like how I've been documenting my runs, or how I've not been documenting my runs. If you watch my previous videos, you know I really don't do things as a part of a plan.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan?
I like to just do it as I feel, but I see now that that's really biting myself in the butt. I really realized this a few days ago when I went to go try to find out how far I ran in my New Balance 1080 version 10s. I bought them when they first came out back in 2019, I think, 2020, right before the pandemic. I know I want to replace them, just trying to figure out how far I ran, and I just didn't know. I had no clue. Now, what I was doing there is that Strava has their default settings, so when you run, it automatically puts your default shoe, and I've been running all my runs in the past year and a half in the same exact shoe, same thing with my bikes. So I had to go through the grueling activity of going all the past year and a half activities and switching them to the correct gears they should be. I did that, but another issue lies that I don't record every run. I don't record my treadmill runs. I find it just to be a hassle to input it in there. And I went through a phase where I stopped recording my runs on the road. I got tired of the data, getting bogged down with knowing your pace and your distance and your time, and it really took the fun and joy that I was getting out of running, just took it away. So there's that. But now that I'm actually really taking things seriously and I'm really trying to get faster, and go from fat to fit, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea how many miles I ran last week. I mean, I can guess because I know when I ran and about how much I've done here in the treadmill, but I don't know for sure. So when I hear people say that they've had X amount of miles during the week, I can't join that party. So I'm going to make an effort here from here on out to record my runs a little more accurately. And how I'm going to do that with the treadmill is with Zwift. It's just the easiest way. I mean, I'm lazy, like really lazy. Hey Brianna, am I lazy?
Yes.
You're grounded. I don't like to consider myself lazy. I have a problem with prioritization. Instead of prioritizing inputting everything in the Strava so I can keep track of things, I prioritize relaxing and being with the kids. But running on Zwift, at least it'll document something. If you're not familiar with Zwift, I don't know a whole lot of people who do run on it. It's kind of boring. And I don't even know why I'm going to do it, I guess, just besides to document my runs. But I'm going to keep it on the circle track. There's a little avatar that goes up and down hills. Even though I have a smart trainer, it's not like a bicycle where it moves my trainer up and down hills. So it never really gives me an accurate reading on elevation, because if I'm not using elevation on the treadmill, then Zwift still does their thing with moving, and it doesn't correspond. So keep it on the flat track, in the background, and I'll just keep doing my normal thing. That's about it. I just want to come on and say that I suck at documentation. I need to get better at that. I'm going to get better at that. I'm going to take my training more seriously so I know what I'm doing and how I'm improving. Okay, but that's really it. I gotta get onto this knees over toes guy stuff. It is about like 8 o'clock at night, and I had to put a kid to bed. So again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe, follow along my journey from fat to fit and fast faster, and I will see you all in all the future videos.